Hey everybody, how you doing? Jamie and back at you again this August 7th with a little Motivated Matters this Saturday. Hope everybody's in a good place, in a safe space, that you had a wonderful week and that you started your weekend off on a good note. We're here and we have made it to the month of August, everybody. I love August. August is starting to become the transitional month as we go into the fall. But the one thing about August is it's about abundance. If it's one thing you remember about the month of August, it stands for A. It stands for abundance. Abundance. You know I'm all about abundance here on Motivated Matters. I'm so happy to speak with you about today. But before we get into it, you know we always got to give our props to ExecuStyle for all of their cutting edge designs, their wonderful mask ensembles, me here rocking one of their scarf sets that's also a female head wrap. I love this ensemble. It feels so nice. You know, I really want you all to still consider and think about what's happening on around you. Are you aware of COVID still working its way through our communities? As I sit here in Chicago, everybody's walking around with no mask on. Yet I'm still walking around because I'm woke, ladies and gentlemen. The numbers are getting really high again. And that's globally. We talked about this last weekend, but now people are starting to really recognize we are not out of this yet. We are not done yet. If you haven't been vaccinated, please go do so. And please encourage people to go do so that haven't, because they're the ones that are really putting their lives in jeopardy. I hope that you recognize this. So thank you, ExecuStyle, for keeping the torch lit, for still keeping some really great products out there. Go check them out. So as we talk about being aware today, I wanted to talk about self-awareness. I'm launching my life coaching here very soon. The foundational level is really going to talk about self-awareness. And I'm really here to help men build their self-esteem and self-confidence to accomplish anything they want to do in their life. I'm not leaving you out, ladies, not at all. But I got to focus on my men because we really do need it. Building self-esteem and self-confidence. I'm leaving a free consultation link for you below. So come check me out because we're about to kickstart this thing here very soon. So today I want to talk about some of those foundational layers of self-awareness. Do you know the difference between self-esteem, self-confidence, and self-love? Do you? Self-esteem will start there because that's the first piece. Self-esteem is how you feel about yourself, right? Typically, it can be low, medium, or high. If you think about the emotional funnel, shame is at the bottom of the emotional funnel, and shame and self-esteem are closely correlated. Sometimes people feel very shameful of themselves for something that they've done or a way that they feel. Their self-esteem is very low. It's about how you feel about yourself. Self-confidence typically carries over into what is that thing, or maybe it's a certain area in your life where you feel really good about. Maybe you're good about public speaking, or maybe you're great at swimming or basketball, or maybe your self-esteem is really low because you don't read or write too well. I mean, these things are real. And last but not least, self-love. Self-love. Do you love yourself? Do you really care about your well-being? Are you putting your best self forward? Not really caring about what others think about you because you really know it's important about what you think about you. Self-love is so important. So these three areas we're going to talk about over the upcoming weeks. We're going to start off talking about self-esteem. Self-esteem. We just gave the definition. Do you know where you stand with your self-esteem? Would you say it's low, medium, or high? I need you to identify it first. Where do you fall in your level of self-esteem? Because they say it's typically attributed to a time in your childhood. Something that happened in your childhood that really impacts your self-esteem. I think about one area of mine. that still carries on to this day. When my grandfather used to tutor me every day after school with my homework early on in my childhood. We had a great relationship, but when he became a tutor, he used to holler and scream at me when I got answers wrong or didn't really understand a concept, specifically with math. He was really good at math, and like when I didn't get certain methodologies or certain systems on how you do math, he would throw a tirade. And I would have a hard time with that. I would cry, it would be very emotional, trying to do your homework and your grandfather's hollering at you because you can't really figure it out or not understanding the way he or the teacher is explaining it to you. It really impacted me. I must be honest. This is my self-awareness. And it impacted my self-esteem. So when I'm put into areas where somebody's talking down to me or hollering at me or just talking to me like they have no sense, I tune out. I don't put up with that. I don't, because it takes me back to that moment in my childhood. And I didn't like that. It didn't make me happy. So I want you to think about what are some of those areas in your childhood that are triggers. Now, you may have some areas that are really great moments too, but I want to focus on those low self-esteem areas because those are the areas that require repair. Low self-esteem, childhood. Think about what triggers the who, what, and when. I shared with you who, my grandfather. The what was when he was tutoring me. The when was those moments when he was hollering at me, Think about what is it for you and recognize that, because now we got to repair it. I want you to think about those negative thoughts and how do we transition to build our self-esteem. And there's 5 key things I want you to focus on. I'm always dropping dimes because I'm here to help you. That first one, forgive yourself. Forgive yourself first and foremost. I forgave myself. It wasn't just me. But I also forgave my grandfather. He didn't know. That's what he was taught. Generational curses, right? Forgive yourself. Forgive that person or that thing. Then the second piece, encourage yourself. Encourage yourself to get up out of that hole. Encourage yourself that you're better than that. Encourage yourself that you can do more. Encourage yourself that you got over it. The third piece is very important because it really makes sure that number 2 sticks, and that's positive affirmations. I talk about positive affirmations all the time. I love myself. I am a king. I'm a beast. I'm a gorilla. I'm an eagle. I'm a masterpiece because I'm a piece of the master. Do you think highly of yourself? I am kind. I am love. I am peace. I am abundance. It's the month of August, y'all. I told you I am abundance. Speak to yourself with those positive affirmations. I'm passionate about that. The next piece, removing must and should from your vocabulary. What do you mean by that, Jay? I must do something, I must do this, or I should do this, or I should do that, have very negative connotations. When you say you must do something, there's typically some resistance there. You're telling yourself you must do it. Or when you say you should do it, again, there's some resistance. You don't really want to do it. Yeah, I should do that. I should do that, but I'm not. Think about it. And the last piece, relabel those negative thoughts. Relabel those negative labels. I must or will, change them to I can and I will. Understand these things. You can relabel so that your mind is not associating with those levels of low self-esteem, those triggers. You gotta reprogram. You gotta reprogram your mind. I'm talking to you, but I'm talking to me too. And I hope that you think about these things because it's about self-awareness. It's about being a better version of you. And I'm gonna start dissecting this thing because I wanna be a better version of me so I can get to this abundance. I hope you enjoyed today. I hope you take away some nuggets today, and I'm gonna rewind them for you one more time. Make sure that you understand where you are with self-esteem, be it low, medium, or high. Understand where those triggers come from in your childhood that have put you in that low state. And then you try to you start figuring out how you're going to address it with those 5 key areas: forgiving yourself, encourage yourself, positive affirmations, removing must and should, and relabeling those negative thoughts. I promise you, by practicing these key areas, you'll start to gain and build great self-esteem, because you gotta have high levels of self-esteem to build self-confidence. And I promise you, every level in your life you get to, you gotta rebuild your self-esteem. It ain't always gonna be high. Every level you get to, the playing field gets higher, the competition gets higher, and so much your self-esteem. I hope you enjoyed today. I know I did, because it all matters, and we're gonna keep digging into these topics. Again, I shared with you life coaching. Jamie and L. Berry Fearless series is about to start. Free consultation. Find us below. Check us out before we kick started so you can be a part of it. I'll talk to you soon. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. Take care.